Hey everybody, Chris here, back with some more Cultist Simulator. Thanks for coming along. It had been a while since I played this. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. You know, it was obviously pretty frustrating to have the last run kind of end abruptly, but I guess that's just kind of part of the game with Cult Sim. So we dive right back into the madness. Let's see. We've already done Detective. So Detective is available because we were caught by the Suppression Bureau, the Physician, the Priest, a position at the, okay. The Priest, in visions have I seen Saint Agnes. I have learnt not to speak of the form she takes. So this one starts me with some money. So this one kind of seems like right off the bat, maybe it's like a little bit easier. An appointment to a quiet parish. So we start with a job too. I think we're going to do this one, if for no other reason than I've done the other two, or at least attempted them. The Priest. I have been given charge of the spiritual health of a new parish, a charge we use to call the cure of souls. Okay. Let me see here. As long as I do not draw the attention of the bishop through dereliction or scandal, I can draw a living here. And then we also start with money. Love to see that. We start with passion, just trying to get my board laid out in a way that's familiar to me. And then we start with the work verb. Okay, so I'm assuming I can work with my church gig. Oh, okay. So just like the other jobs, I do have to add something to it. Conduct my first service. I have chosen as my text Matthias 7:7. Ask, and it shall be given. Suffer, and ye shall attain. Knock, and ye shall be opened. The book fell open at that page. I swear that I would not have chosen it otherwise. Okay. So what book is he using to teach? I wonder, I don't know how much this one differs, because this might have been a DLC one. Oh boy. Oh, so right from jump, they gave me all the things. Okay, so dream, study, and then what are you? Oh, your time passes. Can I not have you? Let's just do away with that one. The sermon went well, though the echoes in this place are seductive, and I was drawn to extemporize. I do not remember all that I said, but it was all well received. When I descended from the pulpit, I tore my sleeve upon a nail, and a woman in the front row gasped. Ooh, and that got us our first reason card. Okay. All right, so it plays out fairly similarly, right? Like you do your first gig and then all of a sudden you start earning stuff. The sleep of the just. I have performed my devotions as I was taught. I have set aside the histories I should not have read. I no longer speak either of the not nor the unconquered sun. The bishop's secretary was quite clear on all of that, but still in my dreams, Saint Agnes comes to me now and then, and now is tonight. The hinge in the words. I have begun to unpack my books. All right, so our quiet appointment does not seem as though it will stay quiet for long. And then, oh, okay, I will prepare my sermon with care. I don't remember what it said when I added passion, but we can use either passion or reason for this, it looks like. And that I can get behind. Because that's one of the frustrating things of some of the other jobs, like some of the other career paths, is that you wind up kind of hard locked using one or the other. Here's one of my old journals. A sheaf of papers slips from behind the cover and drifts towards the floor. It is something I had copied and long tried to forget. Oh, snap. Okay, so we start off, it just gave me lore. A locksmith's secret. Sooner or later, every locksmith has the dream. Now we recite its 7 phases. Okay, interesting. And I do have study available. Studying wouldn't work on that though, because we don't have another one. So I don't have the talk verb, so we can't use that locksmith secret to talk and recruit anyone. How am I supposed to? Well, hang on a tick. I definitely have not looked at all the options, so I'm thinking ahead as to what I was capable of doing with the tools that our aspirant had, and not thinking like the priest, which we need to do. Agonizing these early moments trying to figure out what's going to be sprung. All right, we have our passion back. We are losing fun, so I got to keep that careful. Saint Agnes walks in smoke, crushing violets beneath her narrow, pale feet. Saint Agnes carries keys and a bright knife and a sharp candle, and in the last of her slender hands, her own martyred head. Saint Agnes lifts her face above my shoulder to kiss my forehead, and I open to her like a door. When I wake, my heart is racing, my skin is pricking, my limbs jitter. I have begun to leak. All right, so that earns us our health card. Love to see that. The congregation listens closely. I have shared no secret doctrine today. Ah, okay, so when we did it with reason, we didn't like rock the boat. Okay, so maybe that's the difference. And then doctrine and fervor. So like, this is what I was talking about, because I don't have very many tools at my disposal, but because it takes either one, I can just cycle between them, which is nice. We can keep money flowing. But I do wonder, the card says, as long as I do not draw the attention of the bishop, I wonder if doing passion too often has someone look at us. So fervor, oh, is a card. My congregation's passions run strong, if not deep. And then doctrine. Oh, doctrine literally just uses the lore. Oh, interesting. Okay. Ah, so not just improvising a sermon on a secret doctrine. I will speak to their souls, and if I speak with conviction, their souls may answer me. Using a suitable doctrine with passionate preaching is more likely to create fervor. Improvised preaching is a little quicker. Okay. So does this serve the same purpose as like talk would? Because I mean, obviously we're talking, right? We're preaching about the hidden truths of the world. That sounds like it would talk. While that's running, why don't we also start upgrading some of our skill set? Health especially, because I always worry that I'm gonna get the event that makes me sick and not have any backup, and I would hate to see for this run to come to a abrupt ending just as it begins. Okay, a subdued ceremony. Tonight, they listen, but they do not hear. If you use reason with more reasoned doctrines or passion with more passionate lore, you are more likely to create fervor. The deeper the lore, the greater the chance of exaltation. Okay. So is the issue that the locksmith isn't passionate? I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, some of the lores are a little bit more mechanical in nature. So as soon as reason's available, let's try it with reason. Okay, didn't pull anything health related from jump. You love to see it. I will speak again of what Matthias said about doors, but I will speak of Saint Agnes too, and of what comes at night when one has shaped a key. Oh, so this one's saying specifically speak of the locksmith's dream. So this wasn't just hidden lore. This was like straight up preach about the locksmith's dream. Interesting. Okay. So I wonder if that dialogue will change to let me know that I'm using the right stat with my lore. Kind of like when we when expedition dialogues change when I've added the right aspects. All right, so there's my health and vitality. We need to do this again to get a second vitality. I'm bummed about the last run coming to an end, because really in retrospect, like, I should have been able to prevent it. When I went back and edited those videos, I'm recording this well after I had kind of sat on what I was going to do with this series for a while. But when I went back and edited it, and then I went and watched them again to kind of brush up on what had happened, man, I just left evidence sitting there that I could have toasted so far earlier. But alas, that is part of the learning curve. Ooh, okay, so this gave me explore. What does this say? Some of them have had the dream too. I see it in their faces. It's this church. The doors here are not only the doors we see, even the valves of the heart are a door when the limbs are properly aligned. I never said that in my sermon, but their hearts respond nonetheless to its truth. So we generated fervor. My congregation's passions run strong, if not deep. All right, so we can use this in our sermon. Old stones. There's a cathedral in this city that was dedicated to St. Peter of the Keys long ago. It burned in the fire 2 centuries ago. I have read that it was dedicated in secret to St. Spark. Perhaps that's why. When they rebuilt it, the king agreed, reluctantly, that St. Peter should no longer have his keys. Once, this church was dedicated to St. Peter too. I want talk. Exaltation. Sometimes my words, and those I have borrowed, move my congregation beyond mere concentration to exaltation. I could introduce the most enthusiastic worshipers to an inner circle. Okay, I don't have anything that can interact with that. We might as well just do another one with passion while we're waiting for reason anyway, because this doesn't eat our lore card. So there's like, again, unless I'm interpreting that don't cause a commotion correctly, we don't have to worry about a downside from preaching, it doesn't seem. All right, so now we have our 2 vitalities. Let's go ahead and get a second health. That seems like a worthwhile endeavor. The congregation has donated generously, and they haven't limited those donations to the collection plate. Interesting, so we just generated extra cash from that? The church has another patron saint now. Perhaps another bishop wished to erase what the stones had seen, but the stones remember. Here is one marked with the rayed sun. Here, beneath the font, a knot. Here, in the window behind the altar, visible only at dawn, fanned like flowers, the 7 keys. A heterodox church. Even on Sunday morning, there are quirks in the order of service, but most outsiders don't notice. Outsiders are not invited to the ceremonies we hold at chillier hours. So this is a headquarters, sanctuary. Okay, so we have a headquarters, but no cult, unless my cult is just my church. Interesting. I like that. I don't know. I think this one, I think the priest is a DLC one. I think it's one they added after the game launched, if I'm remembering correctly. But I do like the subtle little ways the different backgrounds change the game flow. Tonight they listen, but they do not hear. That's all right. They paid me money, which is also something I was interested in. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do a reason-based sermon, and we are going to include our fervor. Did we just pull an investigator? I'm jumpy about them now. All right. Preach, reason, locksmith stream, fervor, conduct a service. The congregation whispers as it waits, and the echoes are like wings in a high place, like tree branches in the wind. The deacon and the sacristan, I gotta look that word up, watch me as I take my place. There is something in their eyes I didn't quite expect. Is it pride? Ooh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Well, I don't have anything he can be upset about, so maybe he'll just go away, but I'll probably... Yeah, okay. Oh, so it wasn't even an investigator. It was just, hey, you better watch your ass. All right. Got my extra health point, and we've got our strong physique. Do I keep going to try and upgrade the other stats? I mean, if reason is going to be the verb we're using with our lore, I might want to duplicate reason and just do passionate sermons for a bit. I don't know. If I study on passion while I'm waiting for this to resolve, it means I'm going to be locked out of doing any more preaching until my reason is recharged. So why don't we just sit for a second and see what comes out of this sermon? That seems like the best choice. Oh, and I can explore with that, right? Yeah, let's do that. It might be a bad thing, but we'll see. I don't remember. I think it could, well, it could spit out dread and shit. Ooh, my talk verb. Interesting. Okay. So what happened during our sermon? My heart is the crossroads of my blood. My tongue is a sharpened flame. I see shapes in the stained glass that are not always there. A gray mare, a sundered tree, a twinned serpent. When I've finished, the congregation is on their feet, stamping and hooting, and their eyes, their mouths, are doors. The sacristan takes my hand and is withered in his withered own before the whole church. There are tears in his eyes. We've waited so long, he whispers. Interesting. A welcome. The deacon and the sacristan, I have to look this word up, have come to speak with me on a private matter. They've brought a guest, someone I've never met, but someone who now drops to one knee to honor me. All three now do me honor. Interesting. So like I was nervous about preaching these hidden words, but when I did so, when I finally did it with conviction, right? The correct lore, the correct the correct stat, the correct fervor level, it sucked them in. They got pumped. That's kind of cool. I suppose I could, let's throw one of these out there while I'm waiting to see what the heck's going on. I don't want to use up passion because, like I say, I want to decide which one we're going to research next. Restlessness. So if this spits out dread, that's actually kind of a concern. Ah, contentment though will not be a concern. So I can dream away the dread it gets as soon as I get there. That's perfect. The sacristan is weeping again. We've waited for you. A Spartak taught us of the glory. Oh, snap. A Spartak taught us of the glory, and we have used those teachings to prepare the way. You are our light. You are our threshold. We need you. Lead us. So this is referencing our last character. Oh shit. We've been preaching to the mirror of glory. That's rad. All right, so we don't need to form a cult because the cult came to us. We found the mirror of glory back in action. That's cool. And we get Violet back, but just Violet? Just Violet. That's kind of a bummer. Oh, but she's already leveled. Violet, a disciple. Violet is always very careful. I wonder if maybe as we continue preaching, we find the rest of them. That would be okay. I'd be okay with that. I am going to get passion increased so that we can jam out a bunch of talk verbs and hopefully use passion to recruit more cultists. I think getting more cultists early just kind of lets me set the table and get everyone kind of ramped up and ready to go. Plus we're gonna want a bunch of different aspects. I want to try and get through the expeditions earlier than I did last time. See sickness, but we're gonna have a vitality out of this, right? Yes, love it. Okay. Oh, so this kind of goofs me though, because now I'm waiting on this passion to be available before I can, well, but that's fine because I can preach in the meantime to keep making some money. So I wonder how often we get fervor. Is it just every time I do it correctly? It says that exaltation improves with our quality, but I don't know. All right, so we can dream this away. Fortunately, we had just enough tail time on the contentment, and then this vitality will still be around to fix the sickness on our health point, so that's okay too. All right, so I'm gonna have to wait for the cooldown on passion. Oh no, I don't. Oh, just studying it. Right. Okay, so this isn't that bad because we'll study it twice, and then the 2 glimmerings will let me level it up, and then I can just kind of rotate the 2 passions in for talking up our lore. That is a-okay. So man, yeah, they gave me an upgraded, we get an upgraded headquarters right out of the gate. We get an upgraded cultist. I guess the only downside is you don't get to pick your cult. Like it is making me do Mirror of Glory again, which I don't mind. But it might have been fun to do a different type of cult. Yeah, so this was an unsuccessful sermon, even though I escaped it too quick, but it said tonight they listen, but they don't hear. So it is possible even when you're lined up that it doesn't come out in the wash. And now we can use this instead of spending money. Love it. And then I guess we just immediately start chatting. So it feels, I mean, other than like what is obviously a somewhat special tailored start, now it feels very much just like the same gameplay loop, which isn't, I'm not upset by that. Like, I think the gameplay loop is fun. Do I use, no, I don't want to use my passion because that was the whole point of having it available for talk. So I have to wait for reason here to do another preaching. With Violet already being level 5, that's a pretty big deal this early because it takes a while to find enough lore to level a cultist. That's awesome. Yeah, but like I was saying, I feel like it kind of has turned into a standard run, just with a different theme, right? Because now we're a preacher instead of the aspirant. Oh, while I'm talking with my lore though, I can't, well no, I can preach without lore, right? Just a standard service. Yeah. So that's fine. Still lets me kind of get just enough money to kick the can down the road. Health renewed. Let us, I guess, roll the dice on this again to see if I can get another contentment to wash away the dread this is going to turn into. I don't have a ton of options right now. Because I don't want to just start yeeting funds into opium dreams. A patron. So that requires reason. Shoot, I didn't think about patrons. Okay, so we're gonna have to duplicate reason as well. That's fine. We were gonna have to do it eventually anyway, so I'll deal with it. So this is gonna wind up going wasted because our reason's gonna be dimmed by the time we're done using it for our sermon, and it won't be able to get in here in time. Oh well, we'll do some standard passion sermons, I guess. Oh sweet, we did get the contentment. That's beautiful. While we get another reason in play as well, because we can use that for recruiting patrons, but we can also use it to cycle, like still have another reason in the hole when we want to preach. And then how do I start finding books? I don't have Morelands. Can I send you out to find it? I think you can find places, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll just get some free monies from that. And then, I guess the same thing, just a lore free improvised sermon. And it did say those are faster. Shoot. Oh, I wasn't thinking. It pulled that, and my contentment's gonna run out before it's eaten it. Oh, darn it. It's just one, though. An overlooked place. Okay, yeah, so she found a joint. Is it Morelands? No, it's Street Strange by Moonlight. This can generate feelings, too, though. I don't want to have to deal with dread this early. You're so vulnerable in the very beginning because you just don't have options. Well, that's not true. You have plenty of options. You don't have the toolkit you want. Ooh, just asking around and not following through earned us mystique, though. That's kind of a bummer. So I'm not just gonna blindly talk about lore just yet. I want to get reason duplicated before we worry about that. So I guess we'll just have to let some verbs sit quiet for a minute, which always feels like such a waste. But I do suppose there is some sense in not putting myself in a position. Oh, I did throw contentment. My God, I am getting the luckiest pull on stuff like that right now. I forgot what I was saying. Ooh, we got an exaltation even with just a standard sermon. Okay. I'm not going to complain. Apparently, some of the congregation is easily exalted. A hireling. I have no need for hirelings. We have nothing we would send them to do right now. All right, reason. So we're going to have to do 2 reason studies. That'll let us get a second reason. And then I think we can kind of confidently start spreading the word beyond the church, right? Like, obviously we're already spreading the word to the congregation. Our devotion has drawn comments. Ooh, okay, so you can get money, but it can also throw mystique. Which makes sense, right? Like, if we're holding closed door services that are speaking of the esoteric eldritch truth, like, that would make sense to me. All right, so that's going away. We get another exaltation. We have our other passion up. So yeah, this winds up being close to just cyclable. More fleeting reminiscence. What else can I do with you? You have secret histories and moth aspects. Keep searching. You can do it. And then reason. Oh, that's spat out below. Funny. Didn't like that. So what do I add here? Oh, we can add the mirror. Ooh, let's see. That seems interesting. Nope. Hirelings not needed. What did I say, Violet? It's Violet, right? Violet. A worshipper has dreamt of Saint Agnes of the candle. Meanwhile, our devotion has drawn comments. So that was worth 2 funds. Notoriety. Okay, so like the mystique is one thing, but notoriety I don't love. A percipient worshipper. Sometimes fervor drives lay people to devote themselves to more uncommon duties. When this one's enthusiasm fades, they will return to the congregation. Oh, snap. So that just like prints hirelings. Three-minute hirelings. I mean, I think that's about the same time limit as what you get on a normal hireling, but this didn't cost me money. Edge aspect. What is this? Devotee. Just now, this one's devotion is all-consuming, but soon it may fade, and then they may question what they have done. Edge, follower, lantern. Okay. Interesting. That might come in handy. Like early expeditions, that gives us someone else that can put more aspects in the pile, which is nice. Shoot, we have a bunch of mystique and notoriety on the board. Why don't we preach with our doctrine? That's fine. Oh, sweet. It's interesting that nothing else. I guess that one's just saying that like you have a chance of getting a hunter, and we didn't have a hunter yet. All right, so this will improve our reason. Oh, of course, I just put the lore in the work verb though. Violet, no hirelings. Can you find me a bookstore? I'm looking for a bookstore. It'll be like a store, but filled with books. Oh, snap. Okay, so it can pull notoriety regardless. That I don't love. Because I don't want to be stacking notoriety over and over. An overlooked place. Okay, I'm okay with that. The auction house. Okay, so I mean, that's a start. I have some money. We can go get something from the auction house just so I have something else to be using in the study verb. What do we get? The skeleton songs. Yeah, I'll bid on it. Excuse you? Thank you. I've raised my hand. The auctioneer raps out an acknowledgement. Will anyone match me? All right. We need our lore back to start talking about it. Oh, thank you. And we will have both a reason and a passion available. And then this is going to give me a second reason we can do more sermons. Let's do this to get a vitality to take care of that sickness and get some money in the process. Even just 2 health feels a little squidgy. I might work on getting health upgraded a second time as well. We've done it. We own the skeleton songs. Poems of greedy delight composed by the possibly pseudonymous Arabella Dusk, the rumored heiress turned madam turned poetess. I think I've read a lot of these books I've read, or at least the ones I remember that I've read. I might not read this second time through. Just for the sake of getting, like, obviously my goal is to kind of get this iteration of the Mirror of Glory kind of back to where we were in the last run with a Spartak, because that to me would be the most fun instead of going back over old ground. All right, read my book. So the loop feels widely normalized at this point. Like, I mean, in so much as the jobs always differ in the different career paths. It's just the priest job obviously has some extra moving parts because of the members of the congregation, and we can have the fervor card and all that. But the other stuff seems widely the same. Okay, so this is an acquaintance because we pulled passion. Fix that sickness. Excuse you. There we go. Mystiques are already running out. You'd love to see that. With 2 reasons available. Oh, but now our lore is busy. Okay, yeah, I need more lore. Well, hopefully we should probably get some from this book, right? I would hope. That would be the goal. A red secret. We've done it. All right, so I can preach about that now too. There's some restlessness. Don't really want that. It's gonna take a lot of studying on health to get another upgrade. I suppose I could just work too. Like, we could just work manual labor for a bit. That's how I was able to get it so high so quick last game. So maybe I'll do that since we're gonna have lore tied up, and that'll let me cool down notoriety and stuff. We don't need to be preaching all the time. Come with me. Victor, an acquaintance. Victor is a sly fellow, and he knows an unusual opportunity when he sees it. All right, so we need to speak to you. No, we want to talk with the cult. That's how it works, right? Okay. Talk. Oh. But I don't have any lantern lore. Can I talk to him? Oh, snap. Trappings. Does any of this have lantern energy? This does. Okay, cool. Okay. Man, but that kind of sucks. I don't have the tools I need. So here I am preaching to a whole church full of people about my like hidden knowledge, and yet somehow I can't even recruit them. Course of the Heart, exotic cravings. That's gonna be another restlessness, I believe. Okay, let's do this. Let's work and study. And if I do that twice, I should have enough vitality to upgrade health again. Can you go find me a bookstore, please? Violet, I just want a bookstore. There's another restlessness. It won't stick around long enough for me to recruit someone else and use it though, unfortunately. Victor is a sly fellow, but loyal. He's an edge follower. That piano run is so much louder than the other music. We want to, let's talk about a red secret. Switch up what we're talking about out there, you know? Moth hireling, we don't need you at the moment. Ooh, that just gave me an extra vitality too. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's like the game knows what I'm trying to upgrade. Like, funds seem to not be a huge issue in this legacy, so if we could find the bookstore, I could start cranking out book purchases while kind of playing everything else a little cool. I do worry a little bit about how quickly we generate notoriety and stuff. That seems concerning. All right, so there's 2 vitality. We're about to have a 3rd one. Let me do this. I'm gonna work with the other health that is not fatigued. Let's immediately study 2 vitalities to get a vitality lesson. And then when this tricks over into dread, we're gonna ice it with the contentment. There you go. That's how you do it. So we'll have another vitality coming out of this work verb. Another acquaintance. Violet. You know what, Violet? You can take a seat. Victor, go find me a bookstore. I should take another trip to the auction house here. Burn to notoriety. I mean, I guess none of that really matters until we have a hunter. Ooh, Victor found an overlooked place. Come on, Victor. Moreland shop. Come on, Violet. Be like Victor. Try harder. All right. That's awesome, because that means we can start getting some books, and the study verb is going to be available shortly once I'm done upgrading health. This will give me my 2nd vitality. Those 2 vitalities will give me my 2nd lesson learned. Yeah, we're in an okay spot. And then this will let me keep the explore verb cranking out books for us. Okay, there's my 2 vitalities. You need to be available when I go to study the vitalities, so you can chill. Study these 2, and then let's preach, huh, gang? Feels like it's been a bit. We don't have too much fervor up in here. Ooh, the Latin grammar reader right off the bat. That's super helpful. That could have been, I mean, already I feel like I'm a little roadblocked without having any lantern lore, but we should get some of that fairly early. But sometimes struggling to find the languages can be irritating. Oh, our acquaintance was just hanger on. Ooh. All right, that's fine. Talk with the red secret again. Should I be dreaming with anything? I don't remember how to start my way into Mansis. Oh my god, and then the Greek reader? Get out of here. Moreland, you know what I like. Alright, I can't yeet all my money into Moreland's though. Yes, I can. Moreland's is a fine establishment. They've earned my business. Okay, sweet. So wrong kind of attention, but both of those notoriety cards had time to disappear, so that makes me pleased. Our Mystique is available though, apparently. We can just immediately, no, we don't want to burn. We want to leave at least 1 reason and 1 passion available for the talk verb. So I would assume Red Secret is probably a passion-based one. And then this. Yeah. Okay. Collection of essays. Okay, so look, they're not always going to be winners over at Moreland's. You guys find any other places? I'm trying to think. Moorlands, Oriflames, the club, we still don't know where it is, but you want a hireling. Ooh, a patron. Okay. That I'd be interested to get into patron contracts much earlier in this game. Because last Legacy, I was still doing manual labor, like into the second tier explorations. A weary detective. There's always someone who doesn't understand, or who understands too well. This troublemaker may seek evidence on my activities to share with authorities. We've got a detective. Not my favorite. All right, we're gonna have our third health. We're cranking out money from the preaching. I'm eager to see what patron this is. There's our new health, and now we can start learning languages. Love it, love it, love it. Don't need to worry about keeping reason available, so we can preach with that since we have our locksmith stream ready. And then who'd we find? Suluchana Amavazia, who's the woman who owns the club, right? I don't think she gives me jobs though. I don't remember what she does. Oh well, we'll find more patrons coming soon, I'm sure. It feels like this has widely gotten into kind of the same rhythm as the other legacies now, like other than the intricacy of the preach verb, or of the preaching job. It's the same kind of loop at this point. So here's what I think I'm gonna do. I don't think I'm interested in recording kind of the early game again, and I'm fairly certain you guys aren't interested in watching that early game all over again. So what I think I'm gonna do is wrap this episode here. We have come to this small town, found this church that behaves a little bit strangely, and lo and behold, my hidden interests in the Secret Histories line up with this congregation, and we have found ourselves back in the Mirror of Glory. So we're gonna kind of rebuild it to greatness and take it to places Spartak never did, but I'm gonna do some of that off camera. So what I'll do is I'm gonna play the game over the next couple of days, kind of get back to, I would say, like at least through the first tier of expeditions, kind of back to the Shires level like we were last time. And then I'll keep recording fresh from there so that we can continue the journey together. But this way we just don't have to kind of retread old ground. I'm excited though to be back at Cult Sim. This is a game I've said before, and it still holds very true. This game like claws at my mind when I'm not playing. So I took a couple weeks break because I had several episodes ready to air that were kind of going on live on the YouTube channel, and I hadn't played it in a bit. But already sitting here, I feel its tendrils closing in, so I'm excited to play more of it. I will do the catch-up stuff off video shortly. I might even continue after I'm done closing out this video. So the recording schedule should stay pretty steady. I might miss one upload frame just because I'm still kind of getting it back to where it needs to be. So thank you so much.